And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live session of the GrowVeg Challenge. We are here to talk about GrowVeg insights with two of our GrowVeg Challenge 2.0 participants. My name is Chinenye Okeze, Social Media Manager for Leverage Seeds Limited. And I have here with me my co-hosts who also introduced our wonderful participants that will be answering our questions tonight. Adebisi Opemi, my co-host. You're welcome. Please kindly introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adebisi Okoyebi, and I am the Communication and PR Manager for Leverage Flesh Limited. We have here our 2.0 participants, GrowVeg 2.0 participants, who will be sharing what they've gained so far as the participants of GrowVeg 2.0. We have here Bright Okowu, and we also have here Iwea Emmanuel. Mr. Bright, kindly introduce yourself.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this live session. My name is Bright Obo, and I'm a participant of GrowVeg Challenge 2.0.
Mr. Emmanuel, kindly introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Manuel Iweha. I'm also a participant of the GrowVeg 2.0 Challenge. You are welcome. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you all. Thank you everyone for joining this live session. Our participants here will be talking to us about what they've gained so far in the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. And we'll be asking them questions that also enlighten our viewers here tonight. So I'll begin with Mr. Emmanuel. Emmanuel, can you tell us what motivated you to join the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0? And how has this experience met your expectations so far?
Okay. Uh, Thank you for that question. I I have always loved agriculture right from the onset. I Why applying for JAM, I had an issue. I wanted to go for engineering. I also wanted to go for agriculture. Yeah, they were the two things that I actually wanted to go for. But fortunately enough for me, I went for engineering and I got engineering. So yeah, though I got engineering, I still wanted to do something agriculture. I studied a lot of things about plants, a lot of things about animal. So then in primary school, they always tell us plant something, plant maize or corn or beans. I always did that, and I'll add plenty manure, plenty things to make sure that my soil was rich, a child. So getting to hear about the challenge, I heard about it from my sister. Yeah, she was talking about her coursemate, Marvelous, that she ventured into the challenge and that she won the challenge. I was like, oh wow, that's nice, that's nice. At least I've gotten something that will do this because yes, I wanted to practice agriculture, but I never really had that force. I had the passion, I had the love, I had everything, but I didn't have that force. I didn't have that thing igniting me like go out there and plan something. But when I heard about the challenge, I knew that yeah, this is something that's going to motivate me. This is something that's going to keep me on the wheel. This is something that yes, at least I will see my mates doing something and I'll join them to do the same thing. So I took it up. When we asked her the price, she was like 25,000 if you join with this, then 20,000 if you join with my link. All right. I joined, registered for it, at least for it to be a start, for it to be my stepping stone into other things. I've always loved hydroponics. I've always loved greenhouse farming. But I was like, Emma, if you want to start this, you have to start from somewhere. At least you need to plant something, even if you fail, even if you don't succeed, at least let it be like, okay, you had an experience, not like they're asking you plenty questions. You can ask a lot of them, but you have never had any practical experience. So those were the things that motivated me into joining the GrowVeg challenge. And so far, my expectations might have been here, but what I've gotten is, is somewhere up. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much. It's really amazing to hear that from you.
Thank you.
And I know that Emmanuel, you too as well. You didn't just wake up and say, "Let me join Groove Challenge." Something pushed you to join. Something motivated you. So share with us what motivated you and your experience so far.
All right. Thank you for that question. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this section. All right. What motivated me to joining GrowVeg Challenge? First, like Emmanuel said, I've had the love and flair for agriculture from inception. I've always loved the outcome of farming. The produce of agricultural activities is something that drives joy down home to me. So, and fortunately for me, I went to an agricultural institute. Though I didn't study agriculture, I studied engineering. But while in school, I knew I had a little garden around my lodge. There are some persons who will always be like, "Are you an agricultural student?" And I will say, "No, an engineering student." They'll be like, "How?" Well, but they didn't know that the love and the feeling has been there. So I continue with that. I could also remember back then while growing up, I usually told my dad that I would do agriculture and I would do it in a more modernized way of farming and in a large way. And he didn't see that there was actually a future in it. But I told him I was actually going to do it. So after all of that, with time I had to even leave my line of business, engineering and other things I was there and said, okay, now I needed to do this thing that I have play for. And but I didn't study it, I didn't have more knowledge in it. I needed to go for knowledge firstly, so I can be able to at least strive in it and make headway with it. So not until I stumbled upon marvelous post on Facebook as well. So I saw how the whole process went, how she carried the audience along and the step by step and things she learned. And one thing stood out for me aside the fact that she won the competition, and I saw that her tomato plant was still fruiting till after a very long while. I was like, wow, that means wherever she's getting this knowledge from, they must be very good. So I need to be part of it. So I was even anticipating for a second. I didn't know that Global 2.2 and 2.0 was coming up. So when I saw her post about Global 2.0, I actually jumped into it and saw the price. I was like, okay, it's not a challenge. Good again, there was instrumental payment, so I just had to go for it, and that was how I started. That was my motivating factor or drive for joining GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. And for my experience, if it has been met, yes, it has actually been met and actually been exceeded because I've actually paid for some online agricultural courses, but what I have seen in GrowVeg Challenge 2.0 has actually been the best for me. Like it's top notch. The system of organization, the structuring of the whole lesson, up to the extent of having a practical section where you have to practicalize what you've learned. It's not you will learn and you won't practicalize. You will have to practicalize it, and they will walk you through the process. That was actually something that I really love about the whole thing. So my expectations actually been met with the lineup of good mentors. So it has actually been met and exceeded so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Um, so, how have the practical sessions? I know we've all been through practical sessions during this challenge. So, these sessions, how have they improved your understanding of vegetable farming?
Okay. The practical sessions have done justice to a lot of things. Going to YouTube, you see a lot of things about tomato farming. I love tomato farming, so I'm going in for tomato farming. You see a lot of things about tomato farming and the rest. They will tell you give this space, do your pruning, especially if you're doing indeterminate tomatoes, do this, do that, and a lot of things. Apply so manure, but they weren't actually detailed. There are a lot of questions that I still had. So AI was my friend, so I was asking plenty of questions. But going through the practical session, Mr. Kelly, the thumbs up. Going through the practical sessions, there are a lot of things that he showed there that you don't really need to ask any other question. Even if you might want to ask question, maybe somebody will just come to the group and be like, okay, something like, okay, how many seed trays can the potting mix and this contain? And then Mr. Kede will still answer 40. 40 is the minimum and the rest. Yeah, those things they were just there. So the practical sections helped to cover a lot of grounds. You know how to sow your seed, you know how to prepare the potting mix and the cocoa, you know how to mix them, you know how to put them in the tray, and you even know how to break the holes faster. Everything is just there, made easy. So those things alone help me to understand that okay, this vegetable farming is not, it's not really a rocket science kind of something. It's just something that anybody can do if you are willing to get them right and do them as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that question. How the practical session has improved my understanding of vegetable farming. You know, there is a huge difference and huge gap between theory and practical. Most of the times people learn things theoretically, but try to imagine it in their minds, in their heads, and how it should be practically. But with these practical sessions that has been shared to us, it has actually made the journey much more easier for us. Just like Emmanuel said, it's not like a rocket science. It's something that has made even a novice to agriculture understand that this thing is something that every other person can do just by knowing what to do. And that's what the practical sections has actually done to us. Like the step by step process whereby you prepare your land, how you set up your irrigation materials, your mulching, film, and the rest of it, even the application of your manure, even the sterilization of your soil. So all of that has actually helped my understanding of vegetable farming a lot. And for instance, before now, I usually didn't know that compacting of your substrates in your seedling tray will actually affect the sprouting or the germination rate of your seeds or possibly delay them. But with the help of the practical session, when I understood that it's not a must for you to compact, it's not necessary for you to compact your substrates. You just do them the right way and you get your germination at the expected date and time and at good rate. So that's that for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So before I ask the both of you the next question, I would like to use the opportunity to welcome all our viewers. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us this moment. I want to welcome Dr. Abidin Alabi. Thank you. He says welcome on board, amazing participants. Thank you, sir. Um, we have Maureen Bright. You're welcome. We have Mr. Tunde. Mr. Abidemi Talabi as well again. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement. We appreciate them all. And thank you once again, everyone who has joined this wonderful session. So the first question I have for you both. This is for you, Emmanuel. Can you walk us through one specific practical session that stood out to you and why?
Okay, one of them is the irrigation aspect. One of them, yeah, there are a lot that stood out, but I think the best that I can take there is the irrigation aspect. I know a lot of things about, like I said, planting tomatoes and the rest, but I didn't really know how to set up my irrigation system. I knew that there were connectors, but I never knew that there were two types of connectors. Mr. Kennedy did justice to that. I knew that you have to puncture a hole, but I never knew how. Thank God I did not even start that in the first place without watching that video. I don't know what I would have done. They showed us how to do how to puncture the hole, how to make the hole, how to feed them in. Then the drip line, the emitter, he taught us that you have to face it up to prevent clogging. That was very specific and nice. Yes, he also taught us about the drip lines, take your measurement, 50 cm distance and everything. So that alone made him to explain the ridges very well. The spacing between the ridges, between plants, between everything. You can use 30 cm if you want. You can also give space and use 60 cm depending on your choice. Then there was something that we were taught during the theoretical lesson. Is it haphazard? More like you don't plant everything on a straight line. When you have two plants on the same ridge, you plant one here, then the other one and another point, not on the same line, on the same horizontal line, forgetting the name. But he practiced it there, and it was, yeah, it was clear. It was so obvious. Like, yes, they say what they do, or they do what they say, which was very nice. So for me, the irrigation aspect, it was top notch. I did something that I never really knew how to do. I was actually trying to get the lesson from someone who was posting me, but joining the challenge and seeing something like that, I never really thought that it would be shown. I never really thought that I would see something like that, but seeing it was like wonderful. So that was what stood out for me.
All, all right, thank you. Thank you for the question.
And right, what was that one practical session you took out?
Okay, thank you for the question. And one, there are so many practical sessions that stood out for me, but one of it is the soil sample collection. Yes. Before now, I never knew the importance of soil sample collection for your soil analysis. I never knew about it, but that particular video was it for me. It made me understand that during the course of the training, it made me understand that your soil sample collection is a vital key in vegetable production because you need to know the amount of nutrients available in your soil for plant uptake, which was pointed out, and to know your soil pH if the crop you have in mind is good enough for that particular soil, and how to buffer your soil, that if when it's acidic or alkaline, how to go about it. Then secondly, just like you said, the section as well too. I've had a little experience of it, but the practical section of the irrigation confirmed to me what I actually do because I did it without having uh, an instruction, without having a guide on how to go about it, just using my common sense to go about it. But I really learned a lot from that irrigation section. Then, thirdly, the application of your SSP and your this thing, what's it called? Your to drench your soil with your fungicide and also with your insecticide. Important because I knew I had a challenge when I grew tomatoes. When I had a home garden that I grew tomatoes. At the fruiting stage, my tomatoes started wilting, and I was surprised as why that was actually happening. But during the course of the practical section, I now understood the importance of what those soil and sterilization actually does, how it kills some nematodes in the soil, and how it helps as well too to get soil ready for your plants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bright. Thank you. Endurance, you're welcome. Endurance Sambo, you're welcome. Good evening to you as well. So I have one last question for you guys, and it has to do with your experience during the training. So how have you had any challenge during the training, and how did you overcome them?
I have had so many challenges, so many. Starting from getting a space here, because that's the first thing you're supposed to do. So I traveled for the weekend. I said weekend. I traveled for the holiday. Yes, on coming back to Port Harcourt, where I will be doing my practical session, where I'll be planting, I noticed that there were no much availability of land. Yes, because this is planting season, and anywhere you touch, anybody you meet, they will be like, okay, this plant is already in use and the rest. But at least I needed to start my nursery. So what I did was I took permission from my landlord and the family, of which they all accepted. Then I did my nursery there. Yeah. At a point, it was as though he didn't fully understand. So he was now questioning me, giving me like, why should this place be? This not a farmland, all this kind of thing. So I had to start reiterating him about the whole stuff, and he finally accepted. That was nice. That was one of my challenge. Two, the second challenge I had was I never really knew that you have to sieve your potting mix. When I mean sieve, at least when you're putting the potting mix and the cocoa cocoa, after mixing them, when you're putting them on the seed tray or in the seed tray, you have to be careful to remove some of the woody parts. Yeah, there are some parts that still have something like wood on them. Yeah. Not removing those, I noticed that some of my plants were not coming out. They germinated, but they were still inside. It was until I encountered another issue that I now knew that, oh, this was something that was hindering my plants from coming out. So what I did was touch some of those ones that were not coming out. I used my broom to remove some things from the from the topsoil, then remove them, shift them so that the plant can actually sprout on their own. Then the third challenge I had, uh, I get my plant between my compounds, my landlord's compound, my landlord's building. We have two buildings in the same compound, my landlord's building and my building. So that means that his zinc is there and my roof is also there. Small drizzle, small rain that fell, it removed one of my seed trays. All the plants that were there, it had to uproot them because it was highly concentrated on the seed tray. Yes. One thing I did was, okay, every night I should cover my plant, even if it doesn't show that it's going to rain. I should cover my plant. So I had to take that tray out. I have like 25 trays that I planted something on. So I wanted to do something commercial. So I took that tray out, reseeded them. The ones that are germinated, I found a way to at least add them back into the soil, cover them properly. Then what I now do is every night I cover them. In the daytime, I let them have sun doesn't really get there, but the light of the sun gets there very well. So I get my sunlight, but not the sun heat. Yeah, that was something that I did to avert that challenge. So I've actually had my share of challenge. Hmm, that has been so far. I've had my share of my challenge, then I've also resolved them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. About the challenge I had during the first off was due to the fact that when this training started, I moved to a new environment because of the job I was doing, and I was actually having serious network issues in that environment. Not until I actually had to discover a good spot where I could get a good network coverage. And due to my work schedule, like some of the live sections, I wasn't able to meet up with them because of the work schedule. But on the long run, I was able to see how far I could meet up with them and still meet up with the trainings and the classes. Then, secondly, was actually getting a land for the practical section, and it was actually a bit difficult because when you go to, since it's a new environment for me, reaching out to persons around, I will get to things like, okay, lands has been given out and all of that. Not until I got to reach out to my boss and instead I used a portion of the apple farm to start up my to carry out my practical for the GrowVeg challenge, which permission was actually given to me. And the other challenge I had was getting some of my materials. Imagine after paying for your produce for like a month and you're not getting them. It's actually posed as a challenge to me, but finally I was able to receive them yesterday after waiting for a month of making payments. Then, fourthly, was actually the sprouting of seeds. I had a challenge before now. I was actually growing with just cocoa pits, and based on what we learned during the course of the training from Mr. Coyote, he was saying that growing with just cocoa pits can pose the stress to your growing of your seeds. And he emphasized on the importance of using both your cocoa pit and your potting soil. So I also had to work on that, and also discovered that from the course of the training that manure can also be mixed to a cocoa pit in order to help it your plants grow well because of the manure they give to the seeds. Then I also had a challenge of the seed sprouting because of the compacting of those substrate, which during the course of the training and the practical section, I had to unlearn that fact that I must to compact my substrate so as to allow my seed to sprout on time and uniformly. So those are the challenges I had so far and how I was able to overcome them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bright. Thank you. So I just want to use this opportunity to welcome Turaya Aduni. He says Emmanuel and Bright, we really got the training right. Yes, they did. And Bright, Aduni is encouraging you both to keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Abidini says, so good to hear from both of you. Thank you so much, sir. And they can also see the message that is sent. We also have Mr. Tunde. Mr. Tunde says, thank you both for the feedbacks. Yes, we appreciate the feedback from you both and we want to hear more from you. And that's why we hand it over now to my co host, Opayemi. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, so much.
Okay, thank you so much. So, my next question to you is: have you started implementing what you learned in your personal or commercial farm? And what results have you seen so far?
Yeah, I started implementing them. Like I said, I already have my nursery. Yes, I started my planting on the 11th of February. 11 p.m. Actually, I was awake after missing and the whole day stress and everything. Yes, I had to seed them, water them, then keep them to have their space and everything. So I have started my experience so far. It's been nice. The results, everything has come out fine. Yeah. So far, I started seeing sprouting on the second day. Yeah, on the second day, I saw my first sprouting, but not all of them were sprouted. Not all of them germinated. So I just had to be patient, wait for them. Today is my eighth day, and today itself I have to work. I had to fertigate. I added the mixture of fertilizer and 1 gram inside my 2 liters. I was careful. I beg. So I added the 1 gram inside 2 liters to water everything. So they'll have their water. Yeah, we also thought that is 3:1, 3 times fertigation, and then the other time you have to water it just like that. So far, the experience has been nice, and the result has been tremendous. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the question. I've actually started implementing what I've learned during the course of the training. And like I have plants that are in the nursery, which I actually seeded using the guidelines and the training and guide which was given to us. And like I said before, I usually plant with just cocoa pits, but from the knowledge gotten from the training, and it's no longer the same. And by so doing, I'm seeing results from it. Like I had to use cocoa pits and manure, and that's poultry manure at the ratio that was given, and the results have been so good. And secondly, for the plants, um, I've actually started implementing the application of the nutrients starting from the third of the sprouting of the seeds with the ratio of 3:1, which was actually given to us from the guide and during the course of the training. So has been that for me so far, and the result I've been getting from it has been a good one compared to what I had before. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the response. So, my next question is: how has interacting with other participants and instructors shaped your learning experience so far?
Okay. Thank you so much for that. One person I know I've interacted so much with aside marketers has been Mr. Kayode. Sometimes, most of the times, I want to call him Dr. Kayode. I was talking with my sister and I was like, I like this kind of person. He is so rich with so much knowledge. He knows a lot of things about farming. He does his research and every. Sometimes I even wonder because I don't think this is just something that somebody gets from the university. No, no, is something that is born out of passion. Yeah. So far interacting with him has been so good. Then We have, should I call it a Port family? There was a time in the group that a lot of people were making noise, not noise like noise, but this kind of joy, like, okay, we are here, we are plenty and everything. Sometimes, somehow, I still interact with them. Okay, see, oh, I'm looking for land. I'm looking for this. I want to get this. Somebody, once they will be like, okay, I know somebody that sells this. Get this from this person. We've also shared our experiences. I've seen people's farm. I've seen people's tree, and we've made mistakes, and we've also had a lot of success, not some, a lot of success, yeah. So seeing some mistakes and seeing some other successes, you just grow from there. Okay, this is what I should do and this is what I shouldn't do. Then on the group as well, there are questions that you want to ask, or you might not even remember to ask them, but you now see somebody asking them in the group, and you're like, oh wow, this is really nice. What I usually do is I take them and then I take them to my own personal chat and I store them there, keep them there for maybe future reference or something like that. So interacting with every other person in the group, Mr. Kayode, Dr. Kayode. I don't know. I would have loved to interact with Dr. Abiyemi, but when you have so much respect for somebody that you feel like, no, I don't want to disturb this person. Let me leave this person and let him just stay here. That's why I don't really. But so far, his input has been so good. Sometimes I wonder, is this man not so busy? Even Mr. Kayode, is he not so busy in the farm and everything? But yeah, they have time for us. That's very, very nice. So it has shaped my learning experience by since every question is being answered, since I've been able to see a lot of things that people have done, I've seen some mistakes and I've seen some things that are correct. I know that, okay, this is how to actually go about this. I've learned from my own mistakes. I've learned from the ones that other people made, and what's the need of making them over and over again when you know that there are people that are there to guide you, when you know that there are things that are there live for you to see. So those have actually shaped my learning experience to a good one. Thank you.
All right, thank you. My learning experience has actually been shaped with the interaction between the instructors and the participants. The truth is that we have the best form of instructors, like instructors that are always willing to answer your question, that are always willing to give you solution to your problems, regardless of their tight schedules. Just like Emmanuel said about Dr. Bidemi, I've also thought of it how this man actually works, but how does he do it that he always comes up to give us answers, coupled with so many other person and Mr. Kayode. Mr. Kayode is actually rich with a lot of information that when you ask, well, even if he's not online at the moment, when he comes, he always gives you answer. I've also been at his DM and he has given me solution and given me clarity to a lot of issues that has posed as a challenge or that I didn't understand very well. He has actually done justice to that. Also, like what Emmanuel said, I know I had a lot of questions that I wrote down. I intended to ask, but you just come online and you see someone must have asked the question, and an explicit answer will be given to it. I wouldn't even need to also ask the same question, but you've gotten the solution to the problem which you're looking for. And the interaction between like mind, both experience and under experience. You see so many persons posting their success, posting what they have been able to achieve and what they have been able to do. And we all celebrate ourselves, celebrate each other's success and mistakes as well, and take their mistakes and learn from it as well. And also collaboration with other and participants. I know I have someone that I'm close to in the group, the person of Jasper, which we got to know ourselves from this challenge. He discovered that I'm also from in River State as well. So he reached out, and ever since then, we've been relating so well, and so many other persons as well, just because of the interactive sections we've had um, in the program. Thank you.
Amazing. This is good to hear, and we are glad to hear this from you. And this is part of our impact. This is part of what we want, and this is actually happening. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you so much. Tuayo is appreciating you that you really got the training right and keep it up. Dr. Abidemi Kalabi is also saying it's so good to hear from both of you. Amazing. Mr. Tunde is also thanking you. Thank you for the feedback. Ahmad is saying he really gained a lot from what you've said so far. Thank you so much. And we are really glad that we are hearing this feedback of our amazing facilitators and instructors. Thumbs up for Mr. Kayode. I'm very sure when he listens to this live video, he will be so much proud of himself of what the impact he has made so far on the lives of our GrowVeg 2.0 participants. And Clara is also greeting us. Good evening to everyone from Sierra Leone. Good evening to you, and we are happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So, the next question is, if given a startup fund today, how would you structure your vegetable farming business based on what you've learned so far?
Okay, if given funds, how will I structure? That's the next question. Like I've always said, I love hydroponics. I love vertical farming. But since I'm going in for tomato farming, there is no need for vertical farming. Yeah. Vertical farming can come in maybe for someone doing lettuce, cabbage, maybe onions, depending on your type of hydroponics. Yeah. For me, doing tomato farming, I would have the fund would have helped me in aquaponics, yes, where I do mixed farming, fish farming, and tomato plants, where I use the wastewater from the fishes to water or irrigate my farm. That would that would that would go a long way for that. Yes, yeah. I've done a lot of planning and a lot of budgeting for that. I've done those stuff, but you need to start somewhere. Yeah. You just need to do something that your hand can reach to, something that are feasible, something that yes, they are easy. Like I said, I love animal farming and I also like plant cultivation. I love the both of them. And it's a kind of win-win situation when you bring in fish farming with any other plant cultivation, because it's symbiotic. They are mutual. This one is getting from this other one, and this other one is getting from this other one. And at the same time, you are making a lot of gain, a lot of the fishes will give you a lot of money. The plants will give you a lot of money. Like we used to hear farmers will make more money, something like that. Yeah. That's you getting a lot from the same plot of land instead of just investing on one and harvesting just from one. Yeah, if there were to be funds, I would go for aquaponics. Yeah, and it's something that we learned. So I know I remember I asked a lot of questions about that when we were being taught. Yeah, I think Prof also said something about that. Yes. So I asked what were the nutrients that could be added to supplement for the ammonia and every other thing that the fish will release. And I remember getting some answers that you just have to put the ones that are good for both the plants and the fish so that they won't get to die and everything in small quantities. Yeah. And adding them not in the pond but in another tank where the plants will get the water. So if they were to be found provided, I will go for aquaponics for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. If a startup fund was being given to me, how I would structure my vegetable farming business. A good thing is they said how I structure a vegetable farming business, because firstly I will actually go for vegetable farming because the importance of vegetable farming has been highlighted to us during the course of the training, and the percentage that vegetable crops take in the food chart of consumption globally. So definitely I will have to set up a mixed farming whereby, let's say for instance, I have an acre of land. I will have to section it into two, where I will grow one vegetable and another vegetable of high demand from another family, because of what we were being taught, and secondly, because of how the income and revenue comes from vegetable farming based on what we've been taught on your input and your output. I will be able to raise funds so as to possibly set up a greenhouse because um, we've also been taught the importance of having a greenhouse farming and how you can be able to have greater yield using your greenhouse than an open field, despite the fact that it's actually cost effective, like it's very high to set up. But from starting out from an open field, I'll have a section farm whereby I'll do my vegetable farming in sections. In subsequent time, grow into owning a greenhouse so as to be able to grow my crops to have more yield, and also venture into a plan of mine that I've also had before now, which is peanut farming and going into the value addition of it. So that is how I will actually set up my vegetable farming if fund is being given to me. Thank you.
This is good to hear. Thank you so much. And we know that even if you are giving funds today, you will also utilize this well with what you've learned in COVID Challenge 2.0. And we know that you have a profitable vegetable farming business. Thank you so much for your responses so far. So we have the last question. Would you recommend COVID Challenge to others? And if so, why will you be recommending it to others?
Would I recommend? Yes. The answer is absolutely yes. I've been doing that. There are some times that you just go online and you see some people facing some challenges. I be like, if only this person was doing what I was doing, if only this person is where I am, all those kind of stuff, and you feel like, okay, there's this program that I registered for. If you can register for it, all those kind of things. Yeah, the Grow Guide alone is is very rich. I would say is too rich. But then you still have people that are there to break everything down for you. You still have people that are there to teach you and guide you through everything, even guide you through the Grow Guide. That's wonderful. So it's something that is easy to, there is this thing that you might be doing, there is this thing that you might be into, and then you might be ashamed of telling other people about it. No, there is no shame in this one. It's something that you know that yes, your money is not even up to it, or whatsoever you had in mind. Like I said, I had this expectation, but what I saw was way higher. It was way too good. So definitely, I will recommend. Not even I've been recommending. I've been telling people about it. Yes, it came as a shock to me to see GrowVeg Challenge 3.0. I was like, so soon. But it's something to always recommend to people. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for that question. If I would recommend GrowVeg Challenge to others, definitely, which I've already started doing. Then, if there is an update that I've started giving out in this year 2025, the update is GrowVeg Challenge, especially for friends and youths that have actually reached out to me concerning their interest in agriculture. It is good a thing that we are now having more youths interested in agriculture. So, in order to mitigate and fight against hunger and all of that ravaging our nation and the world at large, it's a good thing whereby we share the good news of GrowVeg Challenge. So, these are reasons why I should actually share it to as many youths, both ones that are not interested. You have to make them get interested because of the enticing offers that comes alongside with GrowVeg Challenge. GrowVeg Challenge is actually a platform whereby you are being held you're being walked through the process, not as if they're asking you to come and we are going. No, they're telling you this is where to put your steps, this is what to do, and this is what not to do to get this result. So it's actually something that I wouldn't have a second thought of recommending to people. I have a friend in Lagos State who is also a farmer. I had a challenge with his tomatoes. I know I brought up the challenge to the group, and it was actually treated very well from different persons and both Mr. Kayode and other participants. And I had to forward it back to him, and he was so impressed with it. I was asking me when is the next cohort beginning, and I had to tell him, I told him, if you miss the next cohort, that means we're having issues in life. But this alone, what he has seen, not being in the circle already, or not participating already, is actually a drive for him to even want to do it. And definitely, I will still keep doing and the recommendation to as many out there that needs it. Thank you.
This is good to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your feedback so far in the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. And we are happy to hear this from you. And I believe that people that have not yet registered are hearing the first-hand experience from our participants. This will convince you to register as soon as possible for the GrowVeg Challenge 3.0. You can always visit any of our social media handles, and Madam Clara is asking for how can she register. You can visit our website goveg.com, or you send a DM on any of our social media pages. We'll be happy to reply you and to give you a guide on how to register if you are finding it difficult in the website. Thank you so much all for joining us. We are happy to have you here. Thank you, Babalola, for joining us. And we have the course outline to see what the training covers. Definitely, you can always reach out to our official phone number on any of our social media pages. You can visit our Facebook to see our official WhatsApp phone number to make inquiries on anything you want clarifications on, and any of the course outline that you are willing to see, or on what the training covers. We'll be happy to reply you and to give you clarity on what you need. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Um, this
Thank
is the
you.
end of the live section for tonight. We look forward to having you in our Let's Live Pledge section, which is coming up next week, Thursday. Same time, same venue. You can join us on our Facebook. You can join us through our StreamYard link, and we will be expecting you all. Thank you all, and have a good night first. Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.